welcome to the Xat Podcast. Today we're here with Kitty, formerly known as Cutey. Welcome to the Xat Podcast, Kitty.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. It's great to have you on, especially that, as you know, you are a prominent figure in the community.
Mhm.
And it's just great to have people like you on who have experienced that for all these years and can give a light to people who are new users or
Yeah,
old users or your friends and um, people who might not even have ever heard you talk before. They might find this exciting.
probably so.
Yeah. Um, so let's get started. So when did you join that?
Okay, so I remember I would always it started obviously with Club Penguin.
Right, me too. Me too.
And we would make like these what were those pages? Like Weebly or something like that.
Yes.
Uh and they would have like you would scroll down and like you would be able to talk to your friends like on that as a
Like an
tune.
embedded chat. Yeah.
Yeah, embedded chat as a tune while you're on Club Penguin. So that was back in like I would say 2007, but I wasn't
Wow.
an actual registered user yet.
Yeah, I also found that from an embedded chat. Um, I think it was from Club Penguin Armies though. That's where I was involved.
Really?
Yeah, with the armies.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, and at
RPF.
first, yeah, RPF. Yeah, did you ever join?
No, but I had like a little penguin boyfriend that was in the RPF army.
Oh, geez. Um, yeah, I remember when I first hit the Zat chat on an embedded one.
Mhm.
First thing I did was talk to someone, and they instantly just started talking smack and just arguments off the bat. And then I thought it was interesting, and, like, a few days later, I was trying to find it, and then I got back to it, and I ended up registering.
Yeah. God,
So
I
mhm,
don't remember the first time I registered. I think it might have been in 2000. It's when this is what happened. When I started playing Club Penguin and then Club Penguin shut down, um, they started making those private servers. Uh,
mm,
and so I would go on those, and then that's when I registered myself, formerly known as my username was Queen. So that's when I first registered. I think it was in like 2000 what? Um, I think maybe 2011 or 12.
I actually remember talking to you as Queen back then. It was, old CP, right? Old CP.biz with David
Yes.
Spike. That's
Yes.
crazy. That's pretty crazy, and you had the cat profile picture, the black cat.
Yeah. Yes. He owned CPPS.pro, I think, or
Mm.
CPPS.pro, and I was like a moderator. I felt so special because I was like a moderator on a private server, and he went by the username Tent. But yeah, I remember Damien.
Oh, that's
That's
crazy.
we've known
Yeah,
him for a long time.
we have. Yeah, we've had our ups and downs.
That one.
Um, I'd say these days we're pretty chill. It's always nice to see you in the chat, I'd say.
Yeah.
So, you were on Zap during what I would say its peak because 'cause you've been on it for a long time.
Mhm.
How was it for you during that time, during its peak?
I would say my experience, during its peak, some people say that it was like 2014, 2013 peak. I don't know, but I remember when I left that in 2015, 16, that was like the prime, and that's when like Variety and Brandon had, like, main ownership after Spell left Help.
Yep.
Um,
Or
but
Jesse Infinity.
yeah, Jesse, Spell, they all left and made their own little chat thingy,
Yeah.
try to make their own chat. But that time was when Mike would always promote his chat, and I remember, uh, um, he would have it promoted, like, 24/7. They'd always be beefing with Paradox,
Yep.
and
Who's a fan
Mi
of the podcast, by the way.
yeah, I love Paradox. I still talk to him, and I still talk to Mike too. They're still pretty cool. Um, but that was the peak, and I really wish I never left, honestly, because I resigned from Help at that time as a moderator, and by then I
Mm,
really could have become, like, owner or whatever, but
yeah. I joined around that time, around the 2013, late 2013, early 2014, and, unfortunately, a little bit later, there was the database leak,
I remember that.
um, and people blame that Xat died because of that. I
Yeah,
completely disagree. There's no way it died because Club Penguin and Flash shut down.
that's
That's when
exactly
Xat
the
died.
reason.
Yeah,
I
um,
totally 100% agree with you.
and, things
Because
have
it was
its ups
still
and downs.
active after that.
Yeah, especially COVID during 2020, that was
Mhm.
kinda booming a little bit. That's when I came back.
Well, I'll give you my reason how I found help. It's probably not a question, but on your thing, but I remember okay, do you remember I don't know if you remember a guy named, like, Cookie?
Cookie?
He was like a
Mm,
scammer. Do you remember
no.
Fishy CP?
No, I'm not familiar with Cookie or that.
Okay, so there was this chat called Fishy CP, and this guy named Cookie scammed my purple, and so I went to help, and Jesse was the only one who helped me get my purple back, and I was like, "Well, I like this chat better, so I'm just gonna stay at help," and I stayed at help. I think that was around, like, 2014. And then Life, he was a volunteer at the time.
Yes, yes.
He gave me my I started helping, and he gave me my first temp, and then I stayed on help ever since. So,
Wow,
that's how I
what a
found help.
story. And I gotta say, I also had some issues of just, like, people bullying me back then. Like, they would make a username, they'd put Zook is gay 123 as a username, and Jesse would literally just torch torch 'em like that. And I'd say I've never seen any other help, main owner run things like Jesse. He's
You know
goated,
why?
like, it's crazy. Why?
It's because they had access to torch people back then, the volunteers, but the volunteers now, they don't have access to them anymore. Just the administrators do.
Yeah, like, I remember, Coopum, the last person I saw torched or got banned actually from, Flirt was Coke, and Coopum torched him.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
which yeah,
I'm sure he
that
had to
was mhm.
I don't I'm sure he had to get permission from the admin. I don't know if Cupid actually has access to Torch, but I have heard, and don't quote me on this, but when 42 does leave that, the whole website is going to belong to Cuban.
I've heard differently. So,
Well,
I've heard I've
that's
heard, that it would get split 50-50 with Mike and Maverick, but who knows?
oh, hell
I'd
no.
say
Oh.
all I gotta say
Mike has
is
nothing to do with that chat. All he still makes smileys, like, he's still a smiley maker. Mike is.
mm,
Um, he still makes smileys, but Mike, no, it's supposed to be run by Cupid, and then I think Cupim and Gwenno and Paulo.
I'd say, I just gotta say, Coopum, I love the guy. He's great. He puts his heart into it, and he's
Too
very
much.
smart with he's very smart with some of the things that happen in
Yeah,
his decisions, whether people like them or not. I'd say he's a great asset, and we need him to stick around for sure. That's what
yeah.
I gotta say about Coopum. Um, but
The one thing I
it's
will say
mm,
is that his ideas are from the people on the forum, and, the ideas that he, like, has, he doesn't make them. It's Flume and Xat that actually create the features and the whatever Cupin decides that goes straight to the admins, and then Flume and Xat have to, like, abide by that, which is kind of
yeah.
weird because they don't really work together as a team, but
I feel like it's still, like, kind of, like, outdated, like, we don't even have voice chat. Like, we're over here voice chatting. Imagine if they have voice chat, like, there's even something
well,
called Slack that copies Discord for businesses.
there when I was I don't know if I'm giving out too much information, but I don't really care right now. But, when me and Sim were dating, they were having issues with the connection with the webcam and the voice chat, so I I don't know if they're still working on it, but they're
Mm,
having issues with connecting, um, the
interesting.
the you know, the app.
They've been trying to hint at it, that they wanna add it for a while, and it used to the webcam app, I used it back then, it used to be an app. And my
Mhm.
guess, if you're saying that, my guess is that possibly the servers have issues with something built like that, or maybe they just didn't build it the right way.
But you have to think about it, like, they had to code that shit from scratch, like, that's hard as hell. S but, I
Yeah.
mean, Bloom works as a developer, so, I mean, I don't see why I don't I don't know, he was just having trouble connecting with Xat when they were trying to test it, so that's all that I know right now.
And I also haven't seen, Junior in a while.
Junior, Junior, Junior. Is that the one that became the smiley maker?
He became a smiley maker, and then slowly he became into a developer, and he helped develop some of the new apps that they have.
Well, some of them once they get started in that, like, they'll just get so, like, just deep into it that they'll kinda just disappear for a while.
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, I haven't seen Junior in a while. That's
That's how the
weird.
volunteers used to be, remember? Like, back in the day, like, once you became a volunteer, they barely ever spoke.
I have my guesses as to why, but my guess is that people go on just to bug them all the time for tickets and stuff.
That's probably why, and they just got tired of talking.
Yeah, but Junior was on a lot when they were getting ready to push out the HTML5 apps, like especially the new one, Pawns, I think. It's like a
Mhm.
version of Uno or something.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Junior was on for that.
yeah.
So I
Talking about
gotta
it for a
say, uh-huh.
never mind, I'm gonna say it.
I was just gonna move on to the next question.
Okay.
So
I
I gotta say, you I noticed and other people too, but why did you change your name from Cutey to Kitty after all these years of being known as Cutey? And then I also wanted to know that I used to be friends with the user who owned the short name Kitty, and she was from a radio chat. Yeah.
I've heard about her. The reason okay, so I still have the username Cutie, like, it's still stored, like, with my email, I can change it at any time, but I've always wanted, like, either kitten or kitty as a username because I'm obsessed with cats. You should know that by now.
Yeah, yeah.
So I really like the name I really like the username Kitty, so I saw that it was available, or at least that the user hadn't been um, logged in within, like, a year or 2, so I made a ticket, and I got Kitty.
Nice. Well, congratulations on getting that short name. So I think it's a very
I
special
was
one.
happy.
Do you ever think you'd switch back?
Um, I don't know. That's kind of like, um, maybe maybe in the future for maybe a couple months, switch back and forth every year now and then, but for now, I like Kitty. I think it's cute.
Okay, nice. Um, so over the years, I've noticed you would appear as a help mod. Why do you like being a help mod, and are you trying to become one again?
Okay, so for right now, being even a temp help mod is not in the cards for me because I was on Flirt at the time whenever. Okay, first of all, staff works a little differently now. You don't get, like, promoted as quickly as you used to, and I was already talking to Charles about resigning when Lemona was main owner, and I'm not trying to, like, say anything about Lemona, but you can cut this part out if you need to, but she's kind of biased when it comes to other females, and I don't think she's ever liked me. Um, so I never got promoted from member to moderator, and I think I was a member for almost a year, and I was helping out way more than uh, most moderators would at the time. But the reason why the last time I got demoted was because, Lur.
Mhm.
Um, I was friends with Lur, and at the time, they just didn't trust me because I was friends with him, and, uh, unfortunately, I got demoted because of that, and
Wow.
now, um, since I think it's because since Lemona's owner, um, they just they don't trust me right now, but the reason why I liked being a help moderator is because I liked helping people. I knew what to say. I knew how to help users. I still help users even, as a guest. Some people will still PC me and ask for help. Um, but yeah,
Well, I gotta
help
say,
is like just my home.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, well, I gotta say, I do agree, and I don't think Lamona is just biased against other females. He was
Mhm.
very rude to me, and I do have to say the Lamona era of Help was
Mhm.
the worst I've ever seen at Help.
I'm so
Um,
agree with me.
yeah, she abused her
She aban
perms,
she
like,
abandoned her
mhm,
staff. She abused her she was very biased, she had her best friends as high as she could
exactly,
be. Wiki
exactly.
editor. She made Loba wiki editor. She made Loba owner. That was her best friend. I could see right then and there, okay, that girl right there, like, I remember Lemona when she first became member, when back in 2015, and she's changed.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I remember she even, like, E-dated Junior, who I mentioned earlier, um, and I've even seen she used to kinda be a troll back then, but when from the stories I heard, she
She's
basically she was snitching on Angelo, who was the main owner at the time,
oh, I know
and
it's
that's how mhm,
I know exactly why he got demoted from volunteer.
'cause
Uh,
Lemona snitched.
it's because okay, so here's the story. So Angelo was on a non-official chat and he said a cuss word in a different language. And Lemona was spying on him, which means that she was attempting to get help Maine as fast as possible or whatever. And so she screenshotted the whatever whatever he said, sent it to the admins, and they demoted Angelo. And that's how she didn't deserve to get
No
help.
way, no way.
She did it by, like sneaking around and uh, fucking around with Angelo, which was one of my best friends. I met Angelo on Club Penguin. Like I met Angelo
Aw,
on one of the Club Penguin private servers. Like we've known each other forever.
he's a great guy, yeah.
Dude, he's awesome. But after that, he was like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
I was really happy when Cheese became main and it kinda switched from Lemona because, Lemona, she permanently banned me from Help, and Cheese was the one that let me come back, which was totally unfair. Stifler, who was a volunteer at the time, by the way, told me I can make a new account and go on the forum, and every time I made an account to make a suggestion, Lemona would ban it. Another thing Lemona did to me, we'd had the event games on the chat.
Mhm.
There's a game that's called like random user, and they ask the bot to pick a random user, and they send them Zats.
Yeah, yeah, I know
I
that
got
game.
yeah, I got picked, and then
Yeah.
Lamona's like, "Oh, this is a never mind. That's a test run," because she didn't want to let me win. And then I was like, "What? Why don't I? That's so unfair." I complained, and then she just banned me.
For
I
complaining.
Yeah, exactly. Just because she
Listen,
hated me, she was biased.
okay, you know how you do like the percentage thing, and then like you'll type in a chat, and
Yes.
when you type in, it goes to that chat.
Yeah.
She started. I did that to go to a chat like on help. No one complained except her, and she was like, "Well, it's not an official chat, so you should stop."
Exactly, she was just trying to find ways to complain and get rid of you or me. She always did that, and she was very rude. Um, like you said, she would just picked her best friends to be staff, which was
Yeah.
terrible because they all just bullied me. It was just the
It
worst.
and it's
And
mainly Loba, one female, and all the rest were guys.
I gotta say, um, I never reported anyone really, except for Lemona. I reported her countless times. I made so many tickets on her for the bullying on Help. I've messaged admin so many times. Um, and she was just literally the worst. And
We
I
should've
do want
signed one of those things, what are they called? Like a,
mm,
like a God, what is it called where everybody signs something?
a petition.
Yeah, we should've signed a petition for her.
Yeah, but then all her staff, best friends, they would all just try to get
What,
everyone to go
3
against it. Yeah. Um, I gotta say this too. Uh, I remember when you lost mod at or member or any type of ranks at Help when Lemona was there,
Mhm.
and the reasoning that she told me was that you said a bad word. And I
What?
be I believe it was,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
they said that you said a bad word, not even on Zat, on Discord,
It was on
and that
Discord,
was good enough. Yeah, and that was good enough. That's the reasoning that they gave me.
which makes
And
no fucking sense to me.
yeah, and I thought you
But
were
she
e-dating Lure too at the time.
no, that's when I was e-dating, um, Eddie
Oh,
Eddie
yeah, that's Lure, right? Or no, Edic, yeah,
Edic,
Edic.
yeah. and he
That's right.
screenshotted it and, like, started posting it on Help, which caused more drama, which I kinda think that I mean, it's just justifiable, I will say, because I wouldn't want one of my staff members like, if I was the main owner, I wouldn't want my staff members, like, people posting stuff about what they've said on another platform. But then again, it was on a different platform. I don't think it should have been associated with that. I think it was just her reasoning for me to leave, and she made me fake resignation so that she wouldn't look like the bad guy.
Mm, yeah. I'm so glad that the Lemona era is gone. I think everyone else agrees that it was just so toxic and terrible. And honestly, I feel like it kind of killed that. Like right now, with Cheese there, it's like chill, and everyone loves it. And when Lemona was there, it was just bad vibes for everyone. It was like you say one wrong thing, you get banned. Like one, not even a wrong thing. You just say something someone doesn't like, that,
Mhm.
"Oh, they don't oh, they're talking about anchovy pizza, and I don't like anchovy pizza, I'm gonna get them banned." It was just the most ridiculous stuff, like, I'm
Dude,
so
that's
glad she's gone. It was not nice. It was a bad experience for everyone. Yeah.
listen, you cannot trust many people. I'm telling you, not even the contributors on the forum you can trust because I know there's one girl that I trusted that was a she's a wiki editor and I trusted her and she ended up because I tried out, I tried to contribute for the forum a couple months ago.
Mhm.
Or I tried to request for contributor and I I I talked to her about that and she was like, "Well, just see what happens or whatever." And then there was a leak that happened that that I saw and everything just went haywire and Maverick was the first one to respond and was like, "No, do not trust her." Blah 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 blah. Only because I wouldn't come and visit him in New York or wherever he lives.
So toxic.
It's
Yeah.
very I don't know. But it was just very surprising that he even commented on, like, me posting as like, requesting as contributor because it's, like, very biased, like, just because you don't like me doesn't mean that you shouldn't say that, like, I deserve contributor. I've been on the forum since 2015.
Yeah. And a lot of people, a lot of users I see, they mainly spend their time with just the forum and not really the chats, which is kinda weird. Support the platform you're trying to help build if you're doing that with the forum too. And I
I
know
like,
Maverick's in the
give
background.
somebody, like, a fucking second chance, like, you
Well,
never know. People change.
Maverick, I know he's fought for me this past few years as well, against the contributors. Maverick is he's always, it's either 50-50 with the guy,
He's
um,
really, really
but
sketchy, I'm telling you.
I will say he does contribute a lot with the security for stuff, whether new features, the new apps, or whatever it is.
Mhm.
I'll help Maverick test it, and we find all kinds of bugs and exploits that Sloom and all of them would never find. So, Maverick, it's nice that he still helps, and
Yeah.
that's why I was saying, I don't know
I
if Coopum
think
would take the site, you know?
well, that's just what I was told by, um, a volun a volunteer. Um, I just don't wanna call him out too much because I don't wanna get in
Yeah,
line. Yeah.
no problem. Um,
But he, Flume Flume obviously only does what he needs to do when he's asked to do it, so
yeah, and I gotta say, props to Chris. also known as 42, for building the empire of free work from volunteers. And it took him years to do it, but the fact that he's not even really active himself and there's
Yeah.
people running the site for him is really nice. And I actually take inspiration for that in my own projects, and it's like a cool business model. Although, yes, having volunteer work from people who are motivated, that's nice.
What I would
Um,
say, one thing that I'm pissed about is that cheese on toast is not yet volunteer.
I think was able to. I think he told me he just doesn't want it because
Mm,
if you're help main owner, you get volunteer. But I'm pretty sure he told me he doesn't want it. He's not interested.
well, from what I've heard, I think Lemona did vouch for him, um, and nobody really responded to it, and they just haven't done anything with him yet about it. And he's
Well,
like the main guy who like has
well, you
helped.
mentioned a contributor kind of backstabbed you, right? Um, from what I was told from some people, shout out to Eider if anyone knows Eider.
I do.
Um, a lot of the people, especially the volunteers, and I think some of them are gone now. They're not volunteers, Sidno and some others. Um, a lot of them were and contributors, specifically contributors. Um, it's a big greed thing. They're very greedy, and they don't want to hand that power or contributor or volunteer to other people to risk them losing it.
Why don't you
So,
ask like a personal question, like what happened to me and Slim?
well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So I wanted to mention. I remember it was known back in the day that you were a model,
A
and
model?
yes,
Damn, I wish.
but that wasn't true.
Who said that?
I remember, just people back then, they were saying you were a model. I was gonna ask if that
Oh,
was a career you were going for and what happened with that, but so that's not true. Okay.
no, that's not true. I wish. I would love to do that.
Hey, it's not too late. Um,
I feel like 20.
so what chats did you hang out at back then?
What year?
Any chats you wanna shout out that you remember?
Um, Back then, I used to hang out at Help, Fishy CP, Old CP. Sometimes I would go on Mike's chat. I would go to Tarek's chat when I was dating him because he would promote his chat. He was an old Help moderator. That's all I remember, though.
Okay. Um, so do you like the updates with the HTML5 version of that? And is there anything you would change about it?
Um, when I was with Sloom in France, I told him that I mean, don't get me wrong, but, like, I kind of had, like, a valid I think I have a valid reason to tell him this, but he got pissed off about it. I told him, like, why are you even, like, trying to update all these versions, like, features and everything when I mean, Zat's dying, like, we're not gonna peak it's not gonna, go to its highest peak as it used to be, so, I mean, like, what are you working for? But they do get paid for it, so,
Really? Wow.
yeah, I
Okay.
probably shouldn't have said that.
So I'll ask the question. So it's well known that you recently dated Sloom, who is a Zat volunteer slash developer, and
Yeah.
I actually just learned that your relationship is no longer a thing. So I wanted to ask, how did it go, and what happened? What went wrong? If you don't mind sharing.
Okay. Yeah, I'll share bits and pieces. Okay, so Bloom is from France, and I'm from America. And we met last year in November and started talking. And the crazy rebel girl that I am, decided to spend $1,000 to go to France for 2 weeks just to visit him because I don't
Wow.
know, like, I was really starting to fall, like, for him, and, we would kind of talk every day, and so I rented like, I got a hotel room at the airport, and he met me there every night and would go back home to go back to work, and then I came back. I think I came back in yeah, I came back in March, and he was talking about marriage. He was talking about,
Wow.
like, getting engaged. I drove all the way to Atlanta, like, 5 hours away to get a visa for him so that I could visit for more than 3 months, because you can only visit a country for 90 days before you can, get deported or whatever,
Mhm.
um, if you're not married or whatever. So, I did that, but they rejected it because, some silly reason, but I visited him in March. So I stayed with him for 90 days. We lived together for 90 days in March, April, wait, March, April, May, and then I think I went home in, like, June. Um, we kind of, like I think we just I'm still kind of in that phase. I think I was still in that kind of phase to where I'm, like, a little bipolar, and, he's very, like, introverted. He's very just to himself. He hasn't dated in, like, 10 years, and I'm very, like, familiar with dating, but I've never actually had, like, a healthy relationship. So, like, all the guys I've ever dated in real life were very toxic towards me, and I guess my brain was kind of still traumatized by that, and whenever we would, like, hang out and be like, "Why is he so nice to me?" Like, so I don't know, like, my brain kind of, like, tricked itself, and it was like, I don't know how to explain it. Um, I would kind of I was rude to him, and that I'm being honest, I was rude to him, and I told him like,
Sad.
I started doing therapy. I started trying to do everything to make things better, because I really did love him, and, he just, uh, at the end of it, we kind of just went our separate ways, really. He was I don't know. Plus, I mean, he would take me places. We went to the mountains. That was fun. But he would have to work all day, which I understood, and I would clean his house. Like, I would clean up for him. I would, cook for him every night.
Wow.
Um, I mean, yeah, I would love to be a housewife, but I do have some traumatic issues that have to leave. Um, uh, I'm still in, like, therapy for that and stuff, but, um, unfortunately, no, when he let me meet his mom and dad, but when I was there, like, they could barely speak English, and that's kind of, like, where things kind of like, he spoke English, but it was to the point to where, like, every time he spoke English, I felt like and, like, I felt like he was, like, being very hostile towards me the way he spoke English, so I would tell him, like, "Why are you being so rude? Like, why are you talking rude to me?" But it was just I think it might have been the way he was just talking, um,
Understandable, yeah.
but it wasn't just, like, a conversation, he would just, like he would sound so rude, like, sometimes he but I like physical touch, I like cuddling, like, things like that, and it's just something that he wasn't used to, and I like that. I like to cuddle,
Aw.
like, I like to s you know what I mean? I don't know
And,
if you
I was hoping that that would I mean, it was very interesting seeing you, date him, and I was hoping it would actually turn out nice, and I had no idea that all this was happening, even him mentioning, engagement and stuff so fast. Um, it
he even moved out of, like, a one-bedroom to, like, a whole ass apartment for us to live together.
Oh, wow, that's commitment.
It was.
Um, wow, and, so you don't see yourself possibly, reconnecting with him at all in the future?
Um, Not at the moment because he's very pissed off at me, because 'cause I'm kind of seeing someone right now, but, because okay, you gotta put it this way, we dated for 7 months, right? But we only met for 1.5 weeks, and then I met him for 90 days. I hung out with him for 90 days, and once you've been heartbroken before and you've been with someone for maybe 2 or 3 years, like, you get over that shit fast. And listen, Zook, I'm 30 years old. I'm trying to move on with my life. I wanna be happy, and I'm trying to find someone who makes me happy. And once he told me, like, like, "This isn't gonna work out, maybe if you were in France, it would," that was just like, "Okay, then that's it for me. Then that's a no? Okay, well then, bye." So, I
Aw.
mean, I've tried to reach out multiple times, and it's just I don't know, just the timing didn't really end up the way that it should have, and maybe that's just the way things were supposed to go.
Do you feel like, you reach like, if he's mad at you and you're kinda reaching out to him multiple times and different things, you kinda feel like maybe it kinda made it toxic and a little bit sour from
Yeah,
there?
because this morning I woke up to, like, a couple of messages from him, and it was, like, huge paragraphs. He was like, "I was finally starting to feel better about myself, and you had to keep reaching out to me, and, I'm trying." And then he saw a video of me and my guy friend, like, on Facebook, we're, like, playing the guitar and we're singing a song together, and he automatically is like, I hope that you and Alex have a great life together," and stuff like that or whatever. I don't know, and I was like, "Okay, just
Aw.
me," but, he blocked me. I'm still friends, like, with on Facebook with his family and stuff, but I don't speak to them. It's just gonna take him some time, and maybe one day we'll reconnect and, maybe we'll make things civil, but for right now, I think he needs time to heal.
Yeah, I hope you guys reconnect, and I gotta say, that, me and you, we've had our ups and downs, arguments and stuff, and even today, I feel like it's great that we can be friends,
The
and talk
next
to each other, it's so cool.
Listen, tomorrow you'll probably be cussing me out, and I'll cuss you out.
Yeah. Yes, I
Like,
guarantee Sloom's
"Hey."
probably gonna listen to this. Sloom, if you're listening to this, that's just, Cutey's personalities. Like she mentioned, I think she might have some, like, bipolar thing going on, and the flip just switches, and it's
Listen, all females are like this. You're not
to
gonna
an
find a
extent, yeah.
girl that's, compatible, so enjoy your 10 more years alone. I'm just
Aw.
kidding. I'm just
I
kidding.
feel I hope
I'm just
I hope,
kidding.
all of this isn't setting him back from the development from the chats, because I do gotta say, the developments and the updates he's been doing, it's very nice, it's very good. Like, for
Okay.
example, the glow on the pond when you talk, the classic glow, that's nice. Xat
Really?
avatar effects. Yeah, when you send a message, your pawn glows green.
You have every power. I don't have every power. I'm not rich like you. He gets every
I
power because of the Edmonds.
I've gotten plenty of test powers too. I even had 666 as a test power, and I actually have the most six sixes on the chat.
Listen, when I used to help edit the wiki, Jamesy would give me a test power. I miss those days.
Yeah, I there was
It was
days when I was
so
getting
much
test power every
easier.
week. Yeah.
Listen, it was so much easier back then to edit the wiki than it is now. I would
Well,
have been a wiki editor back then, but now it's like hard as hell to edit the wiki. I don't know how this is.
yeah. I gotta say, back then there was a time where I was on the list to automatically receive test powers, and that was when there was a new power every Thursday. And I was just told every Thursday, just go make sure you log in, you'll get it. It was so cool.
I miss
Um,
Jamesy.
who?
Jamesy.
Oh,
Sion?
Jamesy.
You know Sion? You remember Sion, the volunteer?
Yes, I think
That was
so.
me.
Oh,
You didn't know that?
um,
The one
no.
who up social?
I remember social back then.
Cyan was the volunteer, and Jamesey,
Okay, I
Jamesy.
remember him. Yeah, I've seen him in the chats back then. Yeah, I remember him.
I met him in London.
Um, really?
Yeah, he uh, so, okay, so when I went to France, my flight got delayed, and it was, going towards London, and so I was like, when I got to London, they told me that I needed to book another ticket, so I was like, "Okay." I called Jamesy, and I was like, "Hey, my flight's getting delayed. What should I do?" So I spent the night in London, and he took me everywhere downtown, and it was beautiful.
Oh wow.
So I met 2
I haven't been
volunteers.
there yet. Yeah, and unfortunately, well, unfortunately, he wasn't a volunteer when they introduced the verified pawn for volunteers. I know he would
Jamesy
have want that.
Jamesy said that, "Fuck that chat." He wasn't getting paid enough, so
For real, that's why I tell some people recently Toxic lost his mod status at help. And I'm like, bro, like they don't even deserve your time for that. Like, don't waste
Toxic
your
lost his
time.
mod status?
Yes, recently, yeah. But I told him like, bro, they don't deserve your time and you don't deserve to waste your time with that.
And Raven
So
resigned.
I think so, yeah. I think so too.
She
Yeah.
told me the other day. Raven resigned because, I don't know why, but I'm sure it was for a reason.
Yeah. Um,
I think because, they just don't make you, what you need to be as fast enough anymore because, that's slowly dying.
yeah. I don't know why they don't do any marketing or because
I know,
if they
that's
did,
what I'm saying.
because they want to be
Advertisement.
cheap. They want to cheap out. They want to get free volunteer work.
Do
So,
you remember when they used to advertise Club Penguin, like, on commercials?
yeah,
I wish they would do that for
yes.
Zap.
They literally can. They can literally put ads and then it goes to people who are interested in like chats or like social stuff or whatever.
Someone
It's
told
not
me
that hard.
too much money.
You said what?
Someone told me that it would take too much money, like, to add features and all kinds of crap.
Yeah, they want to cheap out, unfortunately. Um, I I'm thinking maybe when they finally solidify HTML5, maybe they might do some advertising.
Mm.
But I'll just say this, I recently built a site, a website for, the most active chat, public English chat, I'd say, on the site called Coastal, and the
Wait, I
site
thought that was
is
Angels
it was what?
on Zap.com?
Yeah.
I thought that was Angel.
Yeah, Angel, yeah. I'm saying I built a website. I'm a main owner there as well. Um,
It's me.
but I built them a website. It's Angel owns it. It's called Coastal.live. and I placed it on a site called neocities.org. And
Mhm.
Neocities is a website where people go to find old school classic looking websites. And that's literally what the Zat interface is, old school.
Mhm.
So with the smileys and everything. And first I tested it with a website called Fruitiger Arrow Archive. And we added a page on the site for a chat. And I created that chat and it was getting a ton of people, a lot of new users, and people were registering. And even today, if you find that chat, there's still new people on there going there right now. The issue is that no one's really sticking around or being active there to make those people want to stick around. Like Coastal. Coastal has its regulars and help as well. There's the regulars who constantly come back.
Yeah,
So, and also the chat is you have to find the page on the website too, but it was working. So I made coastal.live. If you check it out, I coded it, I built it,
that's cool.
and it's slowly getting there. And I have seen some new users, some new guests coming in. So I feel like that could be a trend with the neo cities where people start embedding Zat chats for people looking for the old school interface vibes. So there is an audience for it. So
You
I've
know
been
what I
trying
was
to help
thinking
out. Hmm.
yesterday? I was thinking about, Jamesy and the spell checker used to have a website called, damn it, what was it called? Um, zatalert.com, and
Okay.
you would be able to have a short link called zat.la/, and then they would have, like, the newest power, and I was thinking about rebuilding that website, but Jamesy wants me to pay him, like, 200 bucks just to rebuild it. I was like, "Fuck no."
Well, the site I built, Coastal Live, if you do check it out, you click the info button. It looks like a desktop app icon. It's actually Windows Vista vibes, and you can drag the windows around. Um,
Mhm,
we do have we do have a little info bar that shows the latest dunce, whoever got dunced recently,
mhm.
the richest user in the chat, different stuff, and one of the things on there is the latest power.
Okay,
So
cool.
we do have that. And I know I'm not sure if it's Coupum or I know Paulo, he has his websites and they do the same thing where they show the latest powers too.
I know Slim
Uh,
has one too, but fuck that.
yeah. Um, okay, so what are some good or bad experiences on Zat if you wanna mention any of those throughout your time?
Some good experiences are just, really just hanging out on Help and, chatting with users and, uh, 3 o'clock in the morning, we'll all be, like, chatting it up on the weekend, especially when Jadiction is on, he's pretty funny as hell when
Yeah.
he's drunk.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
when he's drunk. He can't even ban himself because his bot will get banned. But my worst experiences were probably back in the day when they would used to, like, well, they don't do it anymore. My worst experience was probably when I got demoted because of that cuss word that I said. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah. I know what it is. Um,
It was
just
kinda
silly
stupid.
drama. It's just silly drama,
I didn't even
honestly.
either. Like, it was just stupid.
Yeah. That's all you have to say? No, like, fun times with the games or
The
anything?
games,
Or getting powers when powers
I
first come out or something?
I love Ruby. I really wish I had every power, but that's like $1,000.
Well, maybe if you, practice trading in the trade marketplace, maybe you can profit your way up. Honestly, I don't even know if that's, like, possible anymore these days.
Right. And I don't really even spend that much time, like, I'm always on the go, like, out in the real world. I'm always just so busy, I'll check in every now and then and stuff, and I'll ask Charles, like, "Hey," am I able to get temp yet? And he's like, nope, not right now. But that's
Right.
because Lemona's still on her. But
Yeah.
once I do become temp, I'll stay on there more often. Um, but um, I don't know.
Okay. So I wanted to mention that over these years, I've seen you had quite the amount of relationships or e-dating on Xat. And you've even told me that you've flown out to meet some of them.
Yes.
So I'm just wondering, how does the e-dating work?
Mm.
And why does it not always work out?
Well, e-dating works for me is if you communicate with me. Like, okay, so I'm a big communicator, and um, especially if you're online, I want to hear from you like every day. Like, tell me good morning, tell me good night. You know, mic me every now and then. Let's go on webcam sometimes. Um, which Zoom never really did, which kind of annoyed me. He never really went on webcam with me, um, which was kind of annoying. Um, I dated my first boyfriend was Tarek, and he lived in Africa, and he lived in Egypt, and that was in like 2014, 15. That's before I left that. I have a tattoo of him on my hand of his
No
name.
way. No way.
Yeah. I still have it. I need to get it removed, but I've been saying that for years. It was so silly because I was 17 and me and him were like in an argument and I was like trying to prove my love to him. I was like, I'm just gonna go get a tattoo of his name on my hand just to prove it that I love him. And so I got
Mm.
it tattooed on my hand. Um So I flew out to Egypt for like 3 weeks. I met his parent. We were like 17, 18 at the time. And that ended because he was very emotionally abusive. Like, he was a Muslim and they're very strict and he didn't want me to talk to any guys, any guy friends. He didn't want me talking to anyone, like, in main chat, like, not even put, like, a heart beside someone else's name, or else he wouldn't talk to me for, like, 2 or 3 days,
Mm.
which kinda, like, fucked with my head a little bit, and I was, like, 17 at the time, so I don't know. Like, I lost a whole bunch of weight because he got me so depressed. Um, that's when I had, like, red hair back then.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I had my nose pierced, I had my lip pierced, I had red hair. That's when I was queen or whatever. And, so I broke up with him, I deleted him off every social media, and then the last person I've e-dated, um, and went and, met them was so that was, like, yeah, the last person that I e-dated,
So you'd
and
say e-dating is kinda hard hard because it just gets a little toxic, doesn't really work out, it's hard to communicate, keep in touch.
I wouldn't say that. I would just say that it's a lot more tougher, because, like, you're not able to see them in person and, like, talk things through like you would like, through text message, like, it's a whole lot different than if you were, like, in person with someone, like, being able to see their facial expressions, like, being able to, like, physically, like, communicate with them instead of through text message because even when me and Zoom were breaking up, I told him like, "Hey, let's talk this out. Let's go on like Discord and go on mic and talk to each other about this situation because I'm trying to figure this out. I want to work this out with you because I do want, a healthy relationship with you and I am trying to do the right thing." And he said, "No, because if you cry, I'll cry, and it just doesn't make any sense."
Wow.
And I don't know, just it didn't happen, and that's just why it's harder because, I mean, if you're dating somebody, like, 10 minutes down the road from you, then you can just go to their house. It just depends, like, if life brings you together with someone and it's meant to be, then
You know, if you guys were still dating and trying to make it work, it would be kind of funny and kind of cool, those 90 Day Fiance shows, and
yeah.
the and then you shout out Zat, and then it gets popular again or something for dating, people dating. Imagine. Um, I wanted to mention the tattoo. Um, I have tattoos. Sounds like you do too.
You do?
Um, yeah, I'm not looking to get any tattoos anytime soon. I don't really care, but
Alright.
okay, well, I'm kinda down to get a Zat tattoo of the logo,
Bro, that would
um,
be
but
awesome.
I'm not doing that alone, like, I would do that if someone else gets it,
Dude, where would you get
so
it? I'll get it.
on my leg, probably.
Like, on the back of your leg?
Maybe somewhere on my thigh, probably like an inch too, not even that big.
That would be cool.
Yeah, just to have
You know,
it,
that's crazy because I've thought about doing that.
well, if you ever come down, because 'cause you're not too far away, maybe
You're
we
in
might do that.
America?
What's up?
Where are you at? I forgot.
I'm in Florida.
Yeah, yeah, I guess you can cut that part
Yeah,
out.
if it ever happens, if you ever come down, you're like, "Hey, I'm in the area, whatever." Cool, let's go get a tattoo. 'Cause,
We'll put it we'll
the other
record it and get a tattoo of the fucking Zat logo and send it to the admins.
well, yeah, that's the other thing. I might like, if I were to do something like that, I'll before I do it, I'd probably ask them like, "Hey," and whoever's thinking about doing this is my idea, first of all, I'm calling it right here. I would just say, "Hey, I wanna get free test power every time there's a power if I have this logo on my body for the rest of my life."
I know,
Um,
right? That's like advertising for the rest of your
for
fucking life.
real, for real.
Put it
Maybe
on my forehead.
if Coopum takes over, maybe it's possible. Maybe he'd be into it.
Oh god.
Um, so I wanted to ask, what's some of your favorite smileys to use?
I like using the smiley, like the original, like, smiley face. Fu like okay, I told Mike this the other day. I told Mike, I said, "Fucked all those smileys up," because I like the original smileys, honestly.
The old
And
school?
yes, I miss the old school smileys, but we do still have some of them, like, on the, like, where the eight ball is,
Yeah, well,
or
you can turn them classic with the classic
yeah,
power.
true, true, true. But I just hate doing that. I just miss the old smileys. Okay, but my favorite ones, I like to use the original smiley face because it makes me look like a bitch
It's
sometimes.
toxic. That smiley's so toxic. I love it too.
Like when I'm like making my point and then I just put a smiley
Yeah,
face.
right? Right?
And then sometimes I'll use two just to be extra. And then I like the original angel smiley
Mhm.
with a little halo.
I think it's
And then
called Halo, right?
I don't know. I think so. And then I like the HK Hello Kitty.
Okay.
Um, and and then I like the blow kiss.
Oh, okay. That's a nice one. You have a nice selection of cute smileys. I wish they put on your forum profiles a little section that says "Favorite smileys," and you could put them there,
I
but
know. Cool. We
I
don't
have
have
all
much.
kinds of ideas.
You
Wait
know
till
what?
I'm unbanned from the
Cool?
forum.
Hey, you know what would be cool?
What's up?
If we could like make put on music, like, on our forum. So, like, when you go on your forum, like, you it's like your Xat space, like, you can play music on your forum.
Yeah, but I feel like people would argue like, "Oh, but that's what your Zap space is for," and then the other part is, like, copyright, so I don't know how that would work. But that would be
Everybody
cool. It's like
does
a
their thing.
no, that's cool. If you could, like, customize the colors too, that'd be cool.
Yeah, like
It's kinda
Discord.
yeah, like, the form is kinda bland.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause all you can do is
So,
add dinner.
yeah, I have all kinds of, good experience updates, like, I'm the reason there's a block feature. I suggested it in the first place, and then they added it within 6 months. So,
So,
yeah, I love the block feature. It's way better than ignore.
it is, isn't
Yeah.
it?
And it puts the gray smiley face. It's really toxic. Okay, so we're down to the last 2 questions. So, do you have any shout outs to any new or old friends? Maybe some friends you haven't seen in a while?
I have a shout out to probably someone who won't listen to this. Joshua Rivenbark,
Okay,
Karen,
cool, good one.
Karen, um, she's on toast. Let me think. Um, I don't really have that many friends. Oh, Yuki, Yu, that's his nickname. Um, these are all help people. Um, uh, yeah. I'm trying to think. Um, I don't know. I don't think I have any more shout out.
Okay, well, shout out to all those people. If you listen to this, thank you. Um, and then the last thing is, do you have any words for the community?
Uh, just stay safe. Uh, for new users, I would say stay away from flirt.
Good one.
Go to help.com slash, I mean, go to zat.com/help. Go to coastal. Even though Angel might hate me, she'll be okay. Zat.com/social, coastal. Um, that's really the only active chats on Instagram now.
Not the trade chat? I'm just kidding.
Wait, what?
Not the trade chat?
I don't know.
Okay,
Sometimes,
cool.
oh, I got a shout out for Stifler. I got a shout out
Okay.
for uh Crow, and that's
Okay.
it.
You might as well just open up your friends list real quick and go down the list.
Okay, okay, okay. Wait, wait,
If
wait,
you
wait.
oh, okay. I was joking, but go
Shout out for Eden, Rose, Jad, Freeman, Sasha, Blake, Matt, the best reseller in the world,
right.
and then Raven and Marie. And I got a shout out for Zook.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate you coming on to the Zap podcast. It's really nice to have you on, seriously, and I'm just hoping and wishing the best for you, your health,
Thank
and
you.
your relationships.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, you're a really sweet guy when you need to be and when you want to be, but I think me and you are both kind of a little toxic.
Yeah, for sure. When we want to be, yeah,
We want to be.
yeah. Okay, well, thank you for joining us in the Zap podcast, and we'll catch you in the next one.